Hi guys, how are you? I think my sound is going to be really awful right now, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna hook up my mic to YouTube. Hi Gord. Hi Demon Orb. Hi Elvin Archer. Let me just see. So this is not a traditional live that we usually do. It's more of like, I don't know, let's chat, let's catch up, let's talk about politics in the US. Let's talk about, I don't know, let's have a safe space to complain and whatnot, because personally, I don't know, every single time I look at um, what's been happening in the US, I honestly just like, how on earth, you know? I've been looking at the nominations, and of course, obviously, um, oh yeah, the dog. Hi, bub. You see a dog butt. Yeah, sorry, people on YouTube were seeing my dog's ass, so I think they're still seeing my dog's ass. Well, this is going to be a dog full live because I'm obviously not on my computer. I'm on my. I mean, I'm obviously not on my table. This is not where I'm usually. This is not where I usually do lives. The reason I'm doing it from here is because honestly, like I have a really hard time moving today. I um I left work early. I was supposed to have 3 recordings today, 2 of which I did, and one I just simply like I did not have capacity to do it. I am sick. I'm like super, super sick. And earlier today it was hard for me to breathe, had like shortness of breath and stuff. I did have a lot of medication, so it's much easier now. But obviously, when I talk, it's a little difficult. And also, I came home. I slept a lot, and then I woke up and I had one of the worst headaches I've like probably ever experienced in my entire existence, and I mean that so responsibly. And so for like 3 hours, could not, could not recover from the headache. Then I finally did, and so I walked the dogs, and I went and got some ibuprofen because paracetamol wasn't doing it, and I went to a grocery store last minute and sort of like got some stuff for breakfast and things like that because I'm fully planning on staying at home tomorrow, apart from my doctor's appointment that's at 4. And I really hope that that I get um, that I feel better because I have a lot of stuff to do on Saturday, and I don't mean like fun things. I mean like I just have a lot of errands to run. Oh, oh my god. Oh. Thank you. No good. I hope you feel better. Thank you, Lauren. But yeah, I've been looking at the nominations from Donald Trump's cabinet, and honestly, like I don't know how people, and it's many people, who don't see this as like a road to dictatorship. I also don't understand how the people that voted for him can be so ignorant as to like I've been reading comments on a lot of different posts on TikTok. Also, if I'm speaking not fast enough or if I'm breathing in a lot, it's because I'm sick. It's hard to breathe. They think I have like bronchial spasms and whatever, so it's, just bear with me. Um I've been reading comments, right? And a lot of people that voted for Trump, that when you bring to their attention that he's putting these super unqualified people in these positions, right? Like Matt Gates and like what's her name, the crazy woman from South Dakota, and Tulsi Gabbard, and the people that have criminal investigations opened after them, and just they're just so bad. these people write things like, oh, all of your dem lib whatever DEI hires are going to be out of office and Trump is going to replace them with people that are going to clean house and clean corruption. And you're sort of like, oh, and they tell you it's not a dictatorship. And it's like, you do realize that if there's only one party in power, that is the definition of dictatorship. You realize if someone cleans house, that is the definition of dictatorship. Also, like, the people that you're disparaging as DEI hires are not in fact appointed or hired. They were democratically elected. Elon Musk is appointed. Matt Gaetz is appointed. Tulsi Gabbard is appointed. Christy Noem, there, that one, is appointed as well. These people are not elected. They're appointed. Elon Musk does not hold any government position, but will, because he's going to be appointed by Trump. Vivek Ramaswamy as well. Like, it's just interesting because I feel like the people that are super MAGA will legitimately defend anything he does. Like, he was right. He could shoot someone in the middle of Manhattan and people will justify it. Also, this is super off topic, but I feel like there needs to be a section of like videos called random stuff I find in cave grocery stores. This is from Korea. This is a Korean Fanta. Or Fanta. It's really good. But yeah. So I am, I personally am really, really incredibly scared and frustrated. I get asked every day what I think is going to happen with Ukraine. And the thing is, like, Trump is not Ukraine's president, thankfully. So he does not make any decisions for us, and Ukrainians are going to keep fighting. Can he cut off aid? Sure thing. Is that going to mean that we're completely fucked? I mean, not going to be great, but no, it doesn't mean that. He can do a lot of things to completely fuck us, for sure. He can take sanctions off of Russia, and he can, start selling military equipment to Russia. But in terms of, like, people freaking out short term, I wouldn't. The thing that I'm freaking out about, right, is that if Trump implements all of the things that he wants to implement, like deporting 1 million immigrants every year and tariffs and all this stuff, America is going to be screwed, like completely screwed. And I mean economically and in general and everything. I will also say that, people, no countries are going to be sharing their intelligence with the United States if Tulsi Gabbard is presiding over the U.S. intelligence. Like, for you to understand, okay, sure, maybe Republicans that voted for Trump can be like, oh, she's not a Russian asset, it's a witch hunt. She's also an Assad asset and an Assad apologist, and she's been, like, known to be in bed with many regimes. So no one would trust the United States with important information. It's just people would not, countries would not share their intelligence, and that's a big, big one, and it's a problem. Well, I guess not for the U.S. I mean, not for the countries, but for the U.S. I will also say, that, like, that it's Europe is trying to, get on their own so they could feasibly separate from the US. from the allyship with the US. So this is already causing a lot of issues. Also, a lot of companies, like big companies, banks and IT companies, are currently firing like 10 to 20% of their employees because tariffs. So I, j- you know, they did it to themselves. The people that voted for this did it to themselves, and they also did it to other people. It's not, he's not even president yet, and there is already chaos ensuing. And of course, I mean, Ukraine is, I was talking about this recently, where I'm not really sure where my I am in Ukraine, yeah, where sort of my role is in the media. Um, sorry, I'm so sick today. I was saying that, I've talked about this earlier. I'm not sure where my role in the media really is. And up until now, I've only talked about Ukraine. And I think I sort of want to talk about the US as well, but from an educational perspective, and hopefully, get to people that maybe are regretting their choices, and that maybe didn't know, like, I don't know. Um, I'm out of here with all of your bullshit. Okay, well, I'm not holding you hostage. You don't have to announce your departure. It's not an airport. Um, so what I was trying to say is that, like, I don't. I think that I want to not only talk about Ukraine at this point. I think I want to take maybe the experience of being Ukrainian and knowing so many things about Russia, and also talk about the United States, because honestly, there is really not. I I don't I don't understand how we as an American society. Well, I do. Like, our education system is abysmal, like abysmal, and and of course, it's not uncanny. It's not uncanny that we would be in this situation. It's not uncanny that people would not be recognizing signs of a dictatorship. It's not uncanny that people you know, would not be paying attention and would be arguing against it. It's like, it's so funny. Someone in the comments to my latest video today said, uh, I said, "Welcome to Russia. You're now in a dictatorship." And someone commented about, like, Nazi Germany, and then this person, who's evidently a Trump supporter, was like, "This is Nazism. Something something, like something that she's talking about is." No, this is Nazism, or fascism, or something like that. What she's talking about is a dictatorship, and you are talking about Nazism. These are two different things, and I'm just like, you don't even know the definition of this. Nazism and fascism are basically the same thing, except Nazism is fascism that is specific to Nazi Germany. It's fascism with hyper inflated nationalism. Um, and it's specific to Nazi Germany. It's also an ideology. A dictatorship is a form of government. Nazi Germany was a Nazi dictatorship. It was a fascist dictatorship. So yeah. Hi, Kat. They're rotted in their minds. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like, it's really sad to observe so many people kind of just defend anything. And it's funny to me when people, compare things to Hitler or to Mussolini or to other dictators, and they just talk about how obviously this was different because they were brutal and they were, like, awful and stuff. They were all democratically elected, like every single one of them. They were, of course, behind the scenes. There was a lot of work done for them to be elected. There is always some sort of a billionaire or a millionaire ready to invest all the money into getting these people elected. With Hitler, it was Goebbels, Here we have Elon Musky Musk. And of course, we're not looking at these things as the same because history is so far away. But you guys, when Hitler was running for president, I'm sure there were many German people who were like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? How is this happening? How are people voting for this? How are they loving this?" They are because well, fascism sells. Thank you, DW. This also reminded me that DW reminded me that I had 8 subscriptions to gift to people, and I randomly gifted 8 subscriptions to various people. So some of you might be getting a live subscription for a month. I didn't choose. I think it was just given out randomly. So if you were one of the people that received them, yay. So yeah, it's a small slippery slope that ended with horrific consequences. Also, hi Diane. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, when sorry. We don't recognize these things in the moment. It's like, people when Hitler was giving his speeches and when he was purging generals and doing all this stuff, when people were voting for him, they didn't recognize that he was going to be a dictator. They didn't recognize any of this. It's not like, for some reason we think that, like, if this awful historical event were to happen, and I mean literally anything that we learn from history, is that somehow in the moment we're going to be able to see exactly what it is. It's not like that. It's really not like that, because back then it wasn't like that in the beginning either. It's just that we look at it from history, from people who already know how things turn out. So they obviously write about them in these post facto ways. Thank you, DW. So when we talk about Hitler, or we talk about Mussolini, or we talk about Che Guevara, or any of these people, we talk about them in the past tense. We already know what they did. We already know how badly it ended. We already know all of that. So we talk about them from this perspective where they're like awful, right? When we're living through these things in reality, of course, it's not like like Hitler was charming too. When he was running, people did not think he was going to go gas the Jews. He was just saying the Jews were a problem. People didn't think he was going to start Second World War. Like, people didn't vote for that. It's not like he came with this in his running speeches. There were signs, of course, but like, he wasn't just saying that out in the open and planning it. Same here. This guy is not going to tell you what his plan is. He's not going to tell you he wants to overthrow democracy and be a president for life. Thank God he's old. But he's going to establish a system. Like, he's not putting people in power that are qualified for their positions. And it doesn't matter how much you love him or how much you want to just be like, oh, I hate the Democrats, or like whatever. If you look at the people that he's appointing for these positions, none of them are qualified to be in those positions. And I'm taking, like, let's take Matt Gaetz, like, charges away. How is he qualified to be Attorney General? He's not. He's not qualified to be Attorney General. The man who's now running the Department of Defense is a guy who is an extreme right-wing evangelical cultist who was not allowed to guard Biden's inauguration in the National Guard because he has a right-wing extremist tattoo that was also found in Nazi Germany as well. Like, none of these people are qualified to do the job. And like, surely you can say, oh, this guy served in the military. Like, yeah, but also he has a more extensive career of writing books about how to snitch in the military than his actual military career. Also, having served in the military does not qualify you to run the Department of Defense. You know? It's a big role with like 2 million employees. And this guy is a Fox News TV host. Who should he pick? There, what do you mean, who should he pick? He should be looking at generals and people in the DoD who have experience running the Department of Defense. He should be looking at people in the intelligence community who have experience in the intelligence, who have clearance and who have security clearances and who do not have controversial pasts. These are the people that you usually choose for jobs. The people who have been in these jobs and the people who are qualified to get a promotion, not your buddy Matt Gaetz. But Trump pulled out of Afghanistan. Sure, the generals who all said we should do this, this, and that. Okay, so your solution to that is to put people in the Department of Defense that do not understand how the fuck the military works or how military planning works. Just because you were a soldier and you were taking orders for a couple of years does not make you qualified to run a department of 2 million people and to solve everyday defense issues that don't only comprise of the American defense issues, but comprise the defense issues of our allies. Again, you might not like the generals that are currently there, but that doesn't mean that you put a soldier who's been taking orders for a couple of years as the first in command of the entire Department of Defense with 2 million people under them. That's not a qualified person. You also cannot put people like Tulsi Gabbard in charge of intelligence. She's not allowed to have a security clearance. It's going to be 1 million soon. Yeah, because Trump is going to go purge them, right? Sure, 1 million people is still a lot of people. And that still does not negate everything that I said. And the reason why you are commenting these dumb comments is because you know I'm right. So the only thing that you can say is say that. Hi, Robert. Yeah, Thuna is pro Ukraine, but the thing is, like, the people that are sane in the new incoming administration are so few and far between that they're a minority, and it's going to be so hard to implement anything when the majority are legitimately crazy. I've been in Ukraine for this entire time. Mm. Only hope I have is that these people are so uselessly incompetent that they don't know how to damage things too badly. Well, that's the thing, Matthew. I feel like we all think that, right? And we all hope that, but then, like, yes, they are useless and incompetent, but they're also evil. And they're not that incompetent because they got into these positions, right? And I know they didn't get them because they deserved them, but as in, like, they got their way, right? There used to be people that could stop him. He has the absolute majority in every branch of the government. Yeah, I'm very scared too. I mean, it's just, we wait and we see. And, well, hi, Christina. And if at some point you feel like this has stopped being a country that represents you, then you can fight against it. It's not pleasant, it's not fun. Usually, you know, costs health, but it is what it is. Mhm. Yeah, people think Gates will revel in the media attention of people pushing back on his appointment. Yeah, there are a lot of people trying to push back his appointment. I mean, like, I understand it. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard's appointment cannot stand, that's for sure. I mean, I don't think she's going to be confirmed. I don't, but to be fair, I don't know. I really don't know. Because that's the thing. It's like we always think this is not going to happen or that is not going to happen, and then we wake up and Trump is president. So that's that. Also, you guys, I'm suddenly feeling incredibly tired, and I'm really sorry, but I think I need to go to bed. Um, I will try to go live more often. I don't know. Okay. Good night. Bye. Do I have a Blue Sky account? I do, but I haven't used it since I created it, and I tried to like go in there today, and it's just not like working. Oh, now it's working. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I do have a Blue Sky account. This is it. Here. It's the same YEWLLEEABSKY dot social. All right. Hi, James. And sorry, guys.